Surrey is being built for a version of itself that feels like a stranger, and it's arriving faster than you might think. By 2050, this city is projected to be home to 1 million residents. That isn't just a number on a page, it's a total transformation of the streets you drive on, the neighborhoods you live in, and the skyline you wake up to. The city of Surrey just released the draft of its new official community plan, the master blueprint for how they intend to pull this all off. But we all know the gap between a plan on paper and the reality of our morning commute. The draft is finally out, and it's surprisingly candid about the tension that is the city of Surrey's ambitions and the growing pains that residents like you and I are already feeling today. If you want to know what's actually being built, where your money is going, and how your neighborhood fits into the next 25 years of Surrey's evolution, you need to see what's inside. So let's break that down right now.
You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right.
Hey, worth mentioning, my name is Darren, a real estate professional based right here in White Rock and South Surrey. And I've been helping families just like yours buy and sell homes here all the way back to 2007. And since then, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, many of whom found me right here on this very YouTube channel. So if you're thinking about making a move and want some smart local advice with zero pressure, just real insight, there's a link in the description to book a time to speak with me or a member of my team. And together, we'll help you make the right move with confidence. So why do a video about a new community plan right now? Well, the last official community plan for Surrey was released back in 2013, and a lot has changed since then. We've seen massive population shifts, housing affordability challenges, and a completely new set of environmental realities that the old plan just wasn't built to handle. An easy example of this would be the small-scale multi-unit housing initiative launched by the provincial government in 2024, which completely upended communities all across British Columbia, adding incredible amounts of density and changing neighborhoods forever. This new document, Surrey 2050, is the city's overarching guide for development for the next few decades. It isn't just a minor update either, it's a total reset, a comprehensive look at our city's current challenges and our ambitions for the future. Now, the city has been working through extensive data analysis and community consultation to ensure that what we're planning today actually reflects the city that we all want to live in tomorrow. So how does the city actually organize itself? If you don't know, and you may not, Surrey is absolutely massive. It's one of the biggest municipalities in Canada. But the plan breaks the map of Surrey down into 8 distinct communities. You're probably familiar with them: Whalley, Guildford, Fleetwood, Newton, Cloverdale, Clayton, Grandview, and Semiahmoo. Think of these as 8 organizing pillars of the entire city. While City Center acts as the big anchor, the plan emphasizes that everyone needs one of these communities to function as a complete community, as a place where housing, jobs, and services are right where you live, rather than relying on a car to cross town for every basic need. And for those who have been watching the rapid transit expansion in the east, the plan explicitly marks a new path forward. The formal designation of a new Grandview town center in South Surrey and a Clayton town center in Cloverdale. And these aren't just new map labels, they are crucial, high priority nodes designed to be the future hearts of those communities. They're where the city is planning to concentrate libraries, plazas, and community infrastructure to make sure these areas don't just become endless rows of houses, but actual self-sufficient town centers. Driving this, the city has settled on 5 core priorities: housing for all, a thriving and diverse economy, a vibrant downtown, livable, equitable, and connected neighborhoods, and a climate resilience and healthy natural environment. So you might be asking, where is all this growth actually going to land? Because 1 million people just don't spread out evenly. Well, the plan leans heavily into that complete communities concept I mentioned earlier, and the secret sauce is making it happen near transit. If you look at the new transit network map, the focus is razor sharp. We're talking about concentrating the density, the tall buildings, the apartments, and the offices directly around SkyTrain stations and bus rapid transit corridors. It's an efficiency move. By building up near transit rather than out into the farmland, The city is trying to curb the sprawl that causes so much of our daily congestion. Now, this is smart, and frankly, it's been the missing piece for years in the lower mainland. For too long, we've looked at transit station stops, like in Richmond as an example, surrounded by nothing but asphalt and used car lots. While cities like Hong Kong, world-class cities, prove that density belongs right at the station door. That disconnect in the past has been a massive source of frustration, but with this plan, that's all finally about to change. So, how does the city enforce this all? That's where land use designations come in. Think of these as the rule book for what can be built, where it can be built, how tall it can go. Now, to clear one thing up, this isn't a parcel by parcel dictate. It doesn't mean that tomorrow your street is suddenly going to be rezoned. These designations act as the guiding light for when a property owner or a developer applies to rezone their land. The city holds up their proposal up against this 2050 plan to see if it actually aligns with the vision. And how do they turn these maps into reality? Well, that brings us into the implementation section, the how-to manual. But before we touch on that, however, if you're even thinking about buying a home, whether it's in the areas that we serve of White Rock, Surrey, or the surrounding municipalities, heck, it could be anywhere in British Columbia, you're going to want to be sure to grab a copy of our free PDF, 21 grants and rebates for home buyers. We pulled together every program we could find, federal, provincial, even niche local ones, plus tips, links, and quick ways to save that are often hard to find or buried or made way too confusing. So we've sourced them all out and put them in one single spot for you to take full advantage of. It's totally free and can save you thousands. So you can get it right now by using the link below in the description of this video. Okay, so now let's get back to how the city plans to make all of this work. The city uses secondary plans as kind of zoom in functions to handle road layouts and park locations. They use zoning bylaws to set the rules, and they use development cost charges, basically fees paid by developers, to ensure that the growth pays for the infrastructure it demands rather than dumping the bill on existing taxpayers, maybe like you or me, people that live in the city. But building for 2050 isn't just about growth, it's about resilience. The city's goal is to become a zero carbon, climate resistant city by 2020. By 2050. A huge part of this plan relies on nature-based infrastructure, using our existing wetlands, forests, and the green infrastructure network to do the heavy lifting. These assets soak up stormwater, keep the city cool, and improve air quality. It's the pragmatic approach. By identifying hazard lands and incorporating that data into land use planning, the city is making sure we aren't building a high-risk zone future. We also can't talk about Surrey's future without looking at our roots. Over a third of Surrey's land base is in the agricultural land reserve. This is kind of unused land for development purposes anyways. It's meant to be set aside for farming and agriculture so we can continue to grow and prosper as a community. And when I say grow, I mean grow food for us all to eat or to send out to other areas of the world. But this unused land, it's the economic engine of our area. The 2050 plan is firm on protecting this land while pushing for value-added operations and agri-tech to keep our local farmers profitable. For those in the urban core, the plan improves food security by making it easier to start community gardens and access locally grown food. It's a cool vision where a growing city and a productive farm belt aren't competing, they're actually supporting each other. So that is the vision for Surrey 2050, a city of 1 million people that is somehow denser, greener, and more connected than it is today. Now, earlier, I touched on a massive shift forced by the province in 2024 called small-scale multi-unit housing legislation, the rules that essentially rewrote what can be built in our neighborhoods overnight. If that hit a nerve with you, or you're kind of curious about what that all means, you're definitely not alone. We are seeing a total rewrite of the housing landscape in British Columbia, and it is colliding head-on with these local community plans. Whether you're looking to buy your next home or you've already got capital tied up in a property, you need to understand how these provincial mandates are actually playing out on the ground right here in Surrey. I've broken down the full impact, the potential value shifts, and what you need to look out for as a property owner or a potential buyer in the video coming up next. It's one of the biggest shifts we've ever seen in British Columbia, and it's going to affect us right here in Surrey, White Rock, and all of the big municipalities. So hang around, it's coming up right now. The residents of this neighborhood don't know it yet, but this neighborhood is going to be completely upended over the coming years about new zoning regulations that are taking effect all across British Columbia.